Good afternoon. I'm Dr. Michelle Fansteel from Dirigo Food Safety, and we are coming to you live today from our offices in Yarmouth, Maine, to talk to you about surviving a recall. I mean, how much sweat and agony does surviving a recall mean to you? But you know what? We're going to talk today about how you can survive and how you can control it. So, join me on this short little video, and we'll go through surviving a recall. So, the first thing I want to talk to you about is that surviving a recall basically is a matter of ordering your thoughts. And I've taken a model from the life coach, Brooke Castillo, and I'm bringing it to you so that you can organize your thoughts so that you can get through this. And here's the basic idea, is that we have circumstances in the world, okay? And those circumstances create our thoughts. And our thoughts create our feelings. Our feelings then create our actions, and our actions create our results, okay? And you're in charge of that. You're an adult. You get to do that all by yourself, and let's learn how, okay? So how does this usually work? Okay, so normally in food production, we have this belief, okay? And we have this circumstance that there are government food regulations, and here's what most people probably believe, that these government food regulations are completely interfering with me producing my food. That's what most people believe. I get people who tell me this probably once a day, all right? But that set of thoughts around government interference in our lives here creates a set of feelings around outrage and resentment and not wanting to do it, which then leads to actions where we drag our feet around creating compliant documentation. We just don't do it. We spend time arguing on Facebook about it rather than actually doing our documentation, that kind of stuff. And it creates a response that's, you don't have your documentation and you live in fear of the government, you live in fear of what your clients are going to say. You may, in fact, live in fear of a recall. So here's what I'm here to tell you. What if you tried a more empowering thought? What if, given the same circumstance of government food regulations, you had a more empowering thought? That food regulations are part of life, because food regulations are part of life, and you as a consumer probably like food regulations to a great degree. Well, then that thought might bring up feelings of determination that, you know, well, yes, this is part of life and this is something I can do. Well, then that's going to lead to actions around creating compliant documentation. And if we've got that, well, then we can get a result where you have the documentation and you can get on with life and you can just accept that food regulations are a part of life. But what if there's an even more empowering thought available to you? That given the circumstance of government food regulations, that you could use those regulations, you could use HACCP planning or preventive controls planning or a foreign supplier verification program to actually grow your business. Well, heck, then doesn't that make food safety planning like actually exciting? I mean, that's what we're excited about around here, is that you can use these things that the government has handed to us to actually grow your business. And then those actions, once you have that feeling of, wow, okay, there's a real opportunity here, is you create the compliant documentation. You take that documentation and you share it with people who you can grow your business with. And you book more business and you work with the clients who you love to work with, who give you energy. And then guess what? That means you get to grow your business more. Now, this is what I mean by your thoughts create your reality. All of those exercises, they all had the same circumstance, but they had very, very different thoughts. Because they had different thoughts, there were different feelings associated with it. With those different feelings, we got different actions, and with those different actions, we got results, okay? So what does this mean in a recall? Well, sometimes we have to think about the worst thing that can happen. I'm not gonna lie. There are food companies out there that have killed people, okay? This keeps a lot of food entrepreneurs up at night, all right? Going to jail, the public humiliation associated with, you know, items 1 and 2 happening, all right? But here's the deal. What if you can control all of that by practicing failure? All right, that's what we're talking about. A recall means a massive fail. What if we could practice failure? Well, we do that by looking at SOPs and seeing our SOPs. But wait, we have to stop because there's a whole set of circumstances around that that we have to address. Okay, so you're going to be able to download the recall SOP, and here's what's probably going to happen. You're going to get that SOP, and it's documentation. And you're going to look at it, and you're going to get into this space of overwhelm, and this is too much, and I don't know, and I can't do it. You're going to feel defeated. You're going to feel panicked. You're going to feel like, oh my God, why am I even doing this? All right, which means you're not going to take the actions. You might download the recall SOP, but you're never going to look at it. All right, and then you're completely unprepared. So that's not practicing failure. Okay, that is actually letting yourself get stuck in overwhelm. All right, and coming perilously close to actual failure, not practicing failure. So let's try something else. Let's try doing mock recalls, where we take that documentation and we say, okay, we're having a mock recall. And then, hey, I'm going to take this seriously because doing mock recalls really strengthens my business. And you're going to take it seriously with your team, and you're going to work on it with your team. And your team is going to say, okay, this is something we have to take seriously. You know, we are practicing for failure. We're determined to get through this and learn what we can learn from it. And so you're going to conduct the mock recalls. You're going to do them every 6 months. You're going to do the after-action reporting that's associated with it that you can read about in the SOP. And then, hey, the result of that is a prepared team. Well, hopefully then your prepared team will never have to need a live fire exercise. But if you do, and you get recalled, you can create business empowerment around your recall. The circumstance is still a recall, and it's going to generate thoughts. It's going to generate feelings. Those feelings are going to generate actions. Those actions are going to generate results. And it is up to you to determine what the result for your business is going to be in the event of a recall. So how do we do this? Well, I'm not going to lie. Here's the first thing that happens. You get recalled, and the first thing you think is, we're going to lose everything and I'm going to jail. That's a human reaction because you panic, okay? But the good news is that you can take a deep breath, okay, and you can figure it out. You're going to fall into shame and fear. You're going to fall into overwhelm. And what do? And you're going to want to run and hide, okay? And that's going to lead to an escalating problem. Instead, if you've been doing your mock recalls and you have a prepared team, we can try a more empowering thought where you still get recalled, but now you know you've practiced it and you can handle it. And you're going to have mild panic, but you're going to sit with that uncomfortableness, and you're going to do the work anyway. You're going to pull out your recall plan. You're going to follow the directions, okay? I pre-filled in my phone number, so call me, all right, and reach out to us, and we'll walk you straight through this. And you're going to have a functioning recall that will de-escalate your crisis the moment you start working on it. The moment you look at it and you start working on it, it'll de-escalate the crisis. So that's how you deal with a recall, okay? You know that your circumstances create your thoughts create your feelings create your actions, and your actions create results. And it's up to you when you have the power to de-escalate that crisis by instituting recall planning. And we here at Dirigo Food Safety feel that recall planning is so incredibly important to small food businesses that we give recall plans away. So here's our contact information. Again, I'm Dr. Michelle Fansteel, and I'm the CEO here at Dirigo Food Safety. And get in touch with us at info@dirigofoodsafety.com or 207-517-3920, and we will get those recall plans out to you and will help you survive a recall. But the person who can do the most is yourself. Don't get caught in that overwhelm and do the work. Thanks so much. Everybody have a great day.